If you're over 60 and you take magnesium glycinate, vitamin D3, or vitamin K2, this may explain why you're still waking up tired, why your legs cramp at night, or why your blood pressure keeps inching higher even though you're doing everything right. Because the problem is rarely what you're taking. It's when you're taking it. I see this pattern constantly. Thoughtful, health-conscious adults who carefully follow supplement advice, yet feel worse instead of better. Poor sleep, tight muscles, restlessness, palpitations, bone scans that don't improve the way they should. And almost every time, the mistake is the same. These nutrients are being taken together, or taken at the wrong time, in a body that no longer processes signals the way it once did. After 60, timing isn't a detail. It's the difference between support and strain. Today, I'm going to show you why magnesium, vitamin D3, and K2 can cancel each other out when taken incorrectly. Why this matters far more after 60 than it did in midlife. And how a simple timing shift can improve sleep, muscle comfort, and long-term bone protection, without adding anything new. If you take any of these supplements, stay with me. This may be the most important adjustment you make all year. Why supplements feel like they stop working after 60. One of the most frustrating things people tell me is this: I'm more careful than ever. So why do I feel worse? Here's the truth most people are never told. After 60, your body becomes less forgiving of mixed signals. Digestion slows. Kidney conversion becomes less efficient. Hormonal rhythms shift. And the nervous system becomes more sensitive to stimulation. So strategies that once caused no noticeable effect can now quietly disrupt sleep, muscles, and cardiovascular balance. Think of your body like an orchestra. In younger years, it could handle noise. After 60, it needs timing and coordination. That's especially true for vitamin D3, vitamin K2, and magnesium. Vitamin D3, powerful, but often misused after 60. Vitamin D3 is often described as just a vitamin. After 60, that description is misleading. In reality, vitamin D3 behaves much more like a hormonal signal. It influences calcium absorption, muscle contraction, immune regulation, inflammation, mood and energy, circadian rhythm. And here's the key point: vitamin D3 is activating. As we age, we produce less vitamin D from sunlight. We spend less time outdoors. Our kidneys convert it less efficiently. That's why deficiency is so common even in people who eat well. Used correctly, vitamin D3 helps maintain bone density, supports muscle strength and balance, reduces fall risk, stabilizes immune response. But when timing is wrong, problems begin quietly. Vitamin D3 increases calcium absorption. That calcium must be managed. Without proper direction, it can circulate longer than it should, contributing to stiffness, internal tension, restless sleep, or vascular strain. Another critical detail most people miss: vitamin D3 suppresses melatonin. Taken late in the day, it doesn't always cause obvious stimulation. Instead, it makes sleep lighter, more fragmented, and less restorative. People fall asleep, but don't stay asleep. And because this change is gradual, it's almost always blamed on aging. It's not aging. It's timing. Vitamin D3 works best earlier in the day, taken with food that contains healthy fat, eggs, olive oil, avocado, full-fat yogurt. This aligns with your natural biological rhythm instead of fighting it. But vitamin D3 never works alone. It creates movement, and movement needs direction. Vitamin K2, the calcium traffic controller. Once vitamin D3 increases calcium absorption, the body faces an important question: where should that calcium go? This is where vitamin K2 becomes essential, and why its absence causes problems after 60. Vitamin K2 activates proteins that lock calcium into bones, prevent calcium from settling in arteries and soft tissue. Without enough K2, calcium delivery becomes disorganized. That's why some adults over 60 take calcium and D3 faithfully, yet still lose bone density, or develop arterial stiffness. The missing piece is often vitamin K2. K2 deficiency is common because it's found mainly in fermented foods, aged cheeses, and animal fats, foods many older adults avoid or consume infrequently. For most people over 60, -7 Malawian kwaches is the preferred form because it stays active longer and provides steadier support. Like vitamin D3, K2 is fat-soluble and must be taken with food. And like vitamin D3, it works best earlier in the day. Together, D3 increases calcium availability. K2 ensures calcium is used correctly. But neither of them prepares the body for rest. That role belongs to magnesium. Magnesium glycinate, the nighttime stabilizer. Magnesium is often called a calming mineral. But after 60 its role becomes critical. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic processes, including muscle relaxation, nerve signaling, heart rhythm stability, energy production. One of the earliest signs of magnesium deficiency is nighttime muscle cramping, calves, feet, toes. That's not aging. That's a nervous system that can't fully release tension. Sleep also becomes more fragile with age. The nervous system stays in a low-level alert state. Magnesium helps shift the body out of fight or flight and into repair mode. Among all forms, magnesium glycinate is ideal for adults over 60. Gentle on digestion. Highly absorbable. Glycine supports calming neurotransmitters. Magnesium also moderates calcium's effects. Without enough magnesium, calcium can feel overstimulating, leading to stiffness, palpitations, or internal restlessness. And timing matters more than dosage. Magnesium works best 30 to 60 minutes before bed, when the body is preparing to rest and repair. Which brings us to the biggest mistake of all. The most common and damaging mistake: taking vitamin D3, vitamin K2, and magnesium together, usually at night. It sounds efficient. It feels organized. Some labels even suggest it. But after 60, it creates conflicting signals. Vitamin D3 says, activate. Magnesium says, relax. K2 needs calcium levels to rise first. When taken together, especially in the evening, vitamin D3 interferes with sleep signaling. Magnesium can't fully calm the nervous system. Absorption becomes inefficient. Calcium stays in circulation longer than it should. The result? Restless sleep, persistent muscle tightness, subtle heart rhythm changes, fatigue that doesn't make sense. None of this feels dramatic, which is why it's ignored. But over time, it matters. After 60, your body has less margin for mixed messages. Why separation fixes the problem? The solution isn't more supplements. It's clarity. The body responds best to clear signals delivered at the right time. Here's the simplest, most effective structure for most adults over 60. Morning or midday. Vitamin D3. Vitamin K2. With a meal containing healthy fat. This supports bone density, muscle stability, cardiovascular protection, energy regulation, without disturbing sleep. Evening. Magnesium glycinate. 30 to 60 minutes before bed. This supports muscle relaxation, nervous system calming, stable heart rhythm, deep restorative sleep. Most people do well with 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate, adjusted for tolerance. Within 1 to 2 weeks, many notice fewer cramps, a less nighttime restlessness, better sleep quality. Not because they added something, but because they stopped forcing nutrients to compete. A real-world example. A patient I'll call Eleanor, age 69, came to me frustrated and confused. She exercised regularly, ate well, followed supplement advice carefully. Every night, she took vitamin D3, K2, and magnesium together. Her symptoms? Fragmented sleep, calf cramps, subtle palpitations, rising blood pressure. She assumed this was just aging. It wasn't. We changed nothing, except timing. D3 and K2 moved to breakfast. Magnesium moved to evening. Within 2 weeks, the cramps eased. Within a month, her sleep stabilized. Her blood pressure leveled out. The body didn't need more. It needed cooperation. The takeaway: after 60, your body isn't failing you. It's becoming more responsive. Small adjustments now have big effects. Magnesium glycinate, vitamin D3, and vitamin K2 are valuable tools when used with respect for timing and rhythm. The mistake isn't taking them. The mistake is sending mixed signals. Separate them. Support your natural cycles. Give your body clarity. That's how strength, sleep, and stability are preserved after 60, quietly, consistently, and without extremes. If this helped you, tell me where you're watching from and what part resonated most. Your experiences shape what we discuss next. And remember, aging doesn't mean losing control. It means learning how to care for yourself with greater wisdom. If you're over 60 and you take magnesium glycinate, vitamin D3, or vitamin K2, this may explain why you're still waking up tired, why your legs cramp at night, or why your blood pressure keeps inching higher even though you're doing everything right. Because the problem is rarely what you're taking. It's when you're taking it. I see this pattern constantly. Thoughtful, health-conscious adults who carefully follow supplement advice, yet feel worse instead of better. Poor sleep. Tight muscles. Restlessness. Palpitations. Bone scans that don't improve the way